worked him. I mean, no question. He just stayed on top of Fernando, landed more shots, landed more power shots. You had to give round 3 to Joval. 2-1, Vargas.
Vargas has landed the more effective punches so far here in the 4th. Now Joval pins him against the ropes and tries to get in some volume punching.
Joval is not a good puncher.
But everything that Joval does is volume.
But if he can stay in here and put pressure on Vargas, he might test Vargas's stamina after having been away from the ring for such a long time.
Well, he definitely putting pressure on him, that's for sure.
But here in the 4th round, Vargas seems to have found a good counterpunching groove, and he is not getting caught by any of Joval's shots, while occasionally, selectively, landing the ones he wants.
Joval seems to be open for shots up through the middle. If Vargas would shoot probably right uppercuts and left uppercuts, he'd probably be more effective than trying to shoot punches over the top.
How about the jab or the straight right-hand lead?
Well, the jab has been working effective all night. It's one thing I noticed, he's moving like a boxer, but outside of that and occasional jab, he's not actually boxing. The most important punch in boxing is the left jab, and it really amazes me how guys have abandoned it, and they make everything so much more difficult.
Now that punch moved Joval even though it didn't land square. You can say this, he didn't pick a walkover for his return bout, Vargas.
No,
but he did pick a guy who may not be on his level or the level he was once on, and he may have picked a guy who's beatable, but certainly not a guy who's going to fall down the next time he gets hit squarely.
No, he's definitely got a good test. But Joval, from what I saw in previous fight, has never fought with this intensity and speed himself. He's normally much slower than this.
Well, Javal's never been on HBO, never been on Boxing After Dark. It's an opportunity for him. He probably thinks, hey, Vargas will have so much ring rust, I'm going to score a big upset here and make a name for myself at age 36.
Another good round for Vargas.
Outstanding. CompuBox numbers in round 4. Vargas landed 22 out of 40. Joval threw 110 punches by CompuBox count. Landed 16. So Vargas lands more while throwing less than half as many punches in the 4th round, and that's what I meant when I said that he was into a very good counter-punching groove, selecting the opportunities he liked. You look at that slow arcing right hand come over the top, and you get a clear picture of what Emmanuel Stewart's talking about when he says that Vargas can see Joval's punches coming.
If Joval would shoot his straight right hand and quit trying to throw it and chop it, just squeeze it tight and twist it straight through, Vargas would have a real tough problem. And even if I was in Vargas's country corner and I see he's winning, I would still be a little bit worried because of the pace and the tempo that Joval is setting.
Vargas, for his part, seems very satisfied in there with his technical capabilities so far and his ability to find Joval with the counter punches he likes. Fernando looking relaxed and comfortable as they work their way through the 5th. Fight scheduled for 10 rounds. Funny enough, a much tougher opponent than Fitz Vanderpool, the fighter against whom we last saw Vargas on HBO in the Olympic Auditorium a long time ago, 2.5 years.
Well, for a guy that's supposed to be just an opponent, Joval is fighting with a lot more confidence, a lot more determination and enthusiasm than I've saw in a long time than a supposed to opponent guy. These are the type of rounds, as Harold was saying earlier, that even though Joval may not land nothing out effectively, he could possibly win.
Hard left hook by Vargas. Joval keeps coming.
Yeah.
Good body shot by Vargas, and now he stuns Joval with a left hook upstairs, landing accurately again. Joval holding on to Fernando's left hand, so he hits him with the right. Fernando Vargas standing in front of Joval and making him miss.
But you know what? Even though Vargas is a much better, more accurate puncher, Joval never lost his rhythm or his momentum. He's continually to step, making Vargas fight continually, though.
And he hits Vargas with a couple of chopping right hands. But Vargas easily sustains those punches. Joval just doesn't have a lot of power. Good hard right hand body shot by Vargas.
But for the first time in the fight, I see Vargas look like he's starting to get a little bit.
Could be tired.
Could be tired, and that's a round that could very easily go for Joval.
Not on my card.
Vargas had a good spot right there, but after that.
Hey, I don't know who listens to these messages, but I just wanted to say thanks for an unforgettable weekend with Dad.
It's game time, bud.
Yeah, let's go.
We played some amazing courses, and I have to admit, he still has it. He even outdrove me on a few holes somehow. And trust me, he'll make sure I don't forget that anytime soon.
Don't get rattled back there now. Brilliant at the basics.
But those memories, those are going to last a lifetime. Can't wait to come back to the golf capital of the world. Thanks again, Myrtle Beach.
Hey, not sure who checks these, but I just had to call and say I wasn't sure about Myrtle Beach for this year's boys trip, but man, I was so wrong.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
I am never leaving. The golf capital of the world has some of the best courses I've played. And don't even get me started on the food scene. I mean, wow, we ate like kings every single night. I hope no one else figures this out because this place is a hidden gem. Y'all have completely ruined us. We can't go anywhere else now. Seriously, this was the best trip ever. Thanks, Myrtle Beach.
Hey, Myrtle. Wow. My husband came back from his buddy's golf trip a new man.
Leaving
Before
the
he
golf
left for
capital
the
of...
golf capital of the world, he was the same charmingly clueless husband I'd been enduring for years.
Hey,
But when he returned, he seems to have discovered a newfound appreciation for chores. It was as if he'd been replaced by a much more refined, albeit slightly sunburned version of himself. Can't wait to send him again next year.
Hello, you've reached Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the golf capital of the world.
game time, bud.
Yeah, let's go.
Sorry we missed your call. We're out enjoying the sunshine, the sand, and of course, the greens. After that, who knows? Maybe we'll hit the beach, then grab a bite and some drinks right on the water. Point is, we've got something for everyone. Whether you're perfecting your swing or just searching for a weekend away with family and friends, Myrtle Beach is the place to be. So leave us a message and we'll get back to you soon to help you book your unforgettable golf getaway.
Hey, second job. Go to work. I need a towel.
Joval, by CompuBox count, threw 110 punches in the fourth round. Probably didn't win the round. So he came back out and threw 120 punches in the fifth round. Vargas threw only 43. Again, landed more than half. Fernando Vargas given credit by CompuBox, 22 out of 43. Now we go to round 6 of the scheduled 10. Vargas doubling with the left hand there, hook upstairs, hook to the rib cage.
You have to keep in mind, Joval came into the ring tonight weighing 175, I believe, the light heavyweight limit, the biggest man that Vargas has ever fought, and Vargas was never a lights-out puncher, even in the junior middleweight division.
All of which tells us we're probably headed toward a 10-round fight and a decision.
Sure looks like that.
Vargas to trade with Joval in that situation, but he was just protecting his chin.
He can't get his rhythm. As soon as he backs out for a minute, Joval comes right back at him and continually is putting pressure on him. And is becoming, even though he's not landing any clean punches, he's still very effective.
And Lawrence Cole is going to rule that Vargas was standing on Joval's foot, and as a result, it is not ruled a knockdown. Vargas digs a left hook into Joval's body. Joval's back foot slips one more time. He points to the canvas, and Vargas comes back to try to land one more big shot.
I'm anxious to see the replay on that. I thought it was a knockdown. Could have been wrong.
Well, it didn't look like a big shot, and it was a body punch, so it would have been a little surprising.
Yeah, but Jim, if he didn't get hit with that body punch, would he have gone down?
I don't know. I think not.
There's some slippage with the shoes of Joval. It's some kind of way.
Vargas takes advantage to hit Joval with a straight right hand, and it's designed to shorten the fight, but the bell rings and ends the round.
There's the bang.
Punch to the body. Down goes Joval.
Bad call. Should have been a knockdown. Definitely should have been a knockdown. There was no foot involvement there at all.
Oh, Tracy, how you go?
You agree?
He was off balance. The punch landed on his shoulder, seemed like to me, and his balance. But that, officially, if you get hit with anything above the waist, and as a result, you go down. Even on the shoulder, it's a knockdown.
Emmanuel, if he was off balance, whose fault is that?
I didn't say it was fault, but I said officially it's a knockdown if you get hit with any blow above the waist and you go down as a result of that. So officially it is a knockdown.
Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim. 58-56. 4 rounds to 2, Fernando Vargas. I disagree on that knockdown, Jim. When that painted canvas gets wet, it's very, very slippery. 4 times Raymond Joval's feet came apart. 4 times he virtually slipped down. I mean, it just wasn't. I virtually slipped down. I mean, it just wasn't a knockdown. His feet came apart, and he slipped, and that's all it was to it. Cole had the right call.
We'll have to agree to disagree on that one, Harold, but I have it 5 rounds to 1 for Vargas.
If Joval know how to throw a fast, straight right-hand lead off the bat as he's moving in, Fernando would be in big trouble.
If Joval could do that, Emmanuel, he wouldn't be Joval.
No, he wouldn't be fighting him tonight. They wouldn't allow him to fight him. All he's doing, he's working, throwing a lot of punches, but they're not effective punches.
I'm not sure he could hurt Fernando even if he could throw that punch.
If he shot his straight right hand off the bat and squeezed it tight at the end, he would get some respect, I'll tell you that much.
I'll take your word for it. You've seen a fight or two. There are probably many in this crowd who expected, given the business of the fight, probably many who expected to see Fernando dominating a far lesser fighter here. They're probably a little surprised.
I'm surprised. I thought Fernando would have knocked him out earlier, but I'm not so much disappointed in Fernando. I think it's just Joval that came in so focused and prepared and determined.
I don't think they wanted to push over. I think they wanted to see if Fernando can fight.
I'm not sure. I don't recall the record exactly that Joval has ever been knocked out. He has 3 losses, and he's a bigger guy.
Trading punches at close range, and both guys giving as good as they're getting.
Our producer informs me that he has never been knocked out. So while he's not a hard puncher, he does take a punch well.
10-round loss to Erlan Batari in France. 12-round loss to Antonio Perugino in Italy. And a 12-round loss to Sam Solomon in Temecula.
And also the fact that Larry brought it over, he's much, much bigger physically, and that makes him...
Hey, Myrtle. Wow, my husband came back from his buddy's golf trip a new man. Before he left for the golf capital of the world, he was the same charmingly clueless husband I'd been enduring for years.
Hey!
But when he returned, he seems to have discovered a newfound appreciation for chores. It was as if he'd been replaced by a much more refined, albeit slightly sunburned version of himself. Can't wait to send him again next year.
Hey, not sure who checks these, but I just had to call and say I wasn't sure about Myrtle Beach for this year's boys trip, but man, I was so wrong.
Let's go, baby!
I am never leaving. The golf capital of the world has some of the best courses I've played. And don't even get me started on the food scene. I mean, wow, we ate like kings every single night. I hope no one else figures this out because this place is a hidden gem. Y'all have completely ruined us. We can't go anywhere else now. Seriously, this was the best trip ever. Thanks, Myrtle Beach.
Hey, I don't know who listens to these messages, but I just wanted to say thanks for an unforgettable weekend with Dad.
It's game time, bud.
Yeah, let's go.
We played some amazing courses, and I have to admit, he still has it. He even outdrove me on a few holes somehow. And trust me, he'll make sure I don't forget that anytime soon.
Don't get rattled back there now. Brilliant at the basics.
But those memories, those are going to last a lifetime. Can't wait to come back to the golf capital of the world. Thanks again, Myrtle Beach.
Hello, you've reached Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the golf capital of the world.
Game time, bud.
Yeah, let's go.
Sorry we missed your call. We're out enjoying the sunshine, the sand, and of course, the greens. After that, who knows? Maybe we'll hit the beach, then grab a bite and some drinks right on the water. Point is, we've got something for everyone. Whether you're perfecting your swing or just searching for a weekend away with family and friends, Myrtle Beach is the place to be. So leave us a message and we'll get back to you soon to help you book your unforgettable golf getaway.
Remember, the fight is scheduled for 10 rounds, not 12. So we go to the 8th round now. Not an empty seat in the house, and there have been a few fights around the house as we've seen the crowd turning this way and that from time to time. Vargas with a left hook to the head of Joval, and another, picking his spots for the left hook.
That's the right hand that I was telling you. If he could do that effectively, Vargas would have a rough night.
Well, what everybody remembers is not only was Vargas knocked down 5 times by Trinidad and once by De La Hoya, but a welterweight Wilfredo Rivera also once knocked him down.
There's a cut above the left eye of Raymond Joval. There is a cut right above the left eyelid of Joval, and that's going to affect his vision. You'll see it when he turns around. Blood is starting to drip from the cut.
Seemingly has given Vargas a lot more confidence and maybe taken and detracted from the confidence of Joval.
Yeah, Vargas is starting to step forward and dig to the body, and Joval is looking for room to get away.
Yeah.
The fight has changed because of the cut above the left eye of Joval. And the placement of that cut tells me it's probably from a Vargas right hand. So that in itself is probably enough to build his confidence.
It was really bothered Joval. It's taken him totally out of his game plan.
Perfect shot by Vargas with the right.
And Vargas going for the kill, but going very deliberately and patiently.
Absolutely. He's still being smart. Vargas digs the left hook to the body, slips the right hand. Workmanlike operation for Vargas as he waits to see what will happen to Joval next. Gradually trying to deconstruct the taller, bigger Dutch fighter. Good body shot by Joval. Joval gets back to throwing now, apparently having gotten accustomed to the blood coming out of his eye. But now Vargas rips him with another right hand and a big left hook upstairs. Oh, perfect right hand shot on the cut, and Joval backs up into the ropes.
The dike
Gotta work.
Here Vargas landed a beautiful short left hook right up on the temple area. And now he's coming with a straight right hand right between the gloves. The one thing you can say, Joval must have a good chin because Vargas landed some pretty good punches and he's a pretty decent puncher himself.
CompuBox numbers in 8. Vargas 43 out of 67, 64%. Including 32 out of 48 power shots. Joval's punch count dropped to 73, the lowest since the first round.
Vargas needs to go right back to those right hands. They're working, so why stop? Keep shooting.
Particularly since, if there's one thing we've seen for near certainty, Joval can't hurt Vargas with his left hand. His punch is the right hand. Vargas over and under. Joval's landing his right hand. He got in 2 big shots. But Vargas is still methodically targeting the spot above Joval's left eye.
Vargas still is a little cautious. He doesn't want to take too many risks still, and also maybe he's a little concerned about pacing himself.
Yeah, who can blame him? You don't have to learn everything all at once, do you?
He's been in some grueling fights.
Do you see any sign of ring rust after such a layoff, Emmanuel?
I do. I think it was wise for him to fight this caliber guys instead of saying, no, I want to get hold of Trinidad. I want to get right back and get with Oscar. I see a lot of us, and a lot of things that are more accurate and harder puncher would take advantage of.
Vargas gets hit in the cup, below the belt. A referee, Lawrence Cole, apparently didn't see it. Vargas in big trouble. Now fights his way back with a left-hand body shot, but Vargas for a moment was badly hurt by a low blow and wanted a break, while Cole never saw the low blow.
It's a big low blow, too. And once again, you see the slippage of their shoes over there.
And now you see Vargas' fighting instinct. He's recovered enough from the low blow to reassert himself, and he's going at Joval with combinations.
Trying to knock the halo off his head.
I may be wrong, but it's my gamble. If Vargas would just go all out, I think he could knock out. It's a gamble that he could get tired and get hurt.
He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. He's worried his trainer would be upset at him for it. But the fighter is starting to come back to the surface of Vargas' character.
A short overhand right, I think, would end this fight. If he could just let it go off the bat, but he's trying to fight a little too intelligent.
Well, his promoters at main events would say to you, that's the kind of problem we like to have.
Yeah, but I think at this point here right now, a short right, Joval is wide open for a short right hand. I mean, with all this power, if he turned one through, it would be over with.
Now there's blood over both of Joval's eyes. Both the left and the right eye are cut. And an unmarked Fernando Vargas continues to weather the storm of a big punch output.
Hey, I don't know who listens to these messages, but I just wanted to say thanks for an unforgettable weekend with Dad.
It's game time, bud.
Yeah, let's go.
We played some amazing courses, and I have to admit, he still has it. He even outdrove me on a few holes somehow. And trust me, he'll make sure I don't forget that anytime soon.
Don't get rattled back there now. Brilliant at the basics.
But those memories, those are going to last a lifetime. Can't wait to come back to the golf capital of the world. Thanks again, Myrtle Beach.
Hello, you've reached Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the golf capital of the world.
Game time, bud.
Yeah, let's go.
Sorry we missed your call. We're out enjoying the sunshine, the sand, and of course, the greens. After that, who knows? Maybe we'll hit the beach, then grab a bite and some drinks right on the water. Point is, we've got something for everyone. Whether you're perfecting your swing or just searching for a weekend away with family and friends, Myrtle Beach is the place to be. So leave us a message and we'll get back to you soon to help you book your unforgettable golf getaway.
Hey, Myrtle. Wow, my husband came back from his buddy's golf trip a new man. Before he left for the golf capital of the world, he was the same charmingly clueless husband I'd been enduring for years.
Hey.
But when he returned, he seems to have discovered a newfound appreciation for chores. It was as if he'd been replaced by a much more refined, albeit slightly sunburned version of himself. Can't wait to send him again next year.
Hey, not sure who checks these, but I just had to call and say I wasn't sure about Myrtle Beach for this year's boys trip, but man, I was so wrong.
Let's go, baby!
I am never leaving. The golf capital of the world has some of the best courses I've played. And don't even get me started on the food scene. I mean, wow, we ate like kings every single night. I hope no one else figures this out because this place is a hidden gem. Y'all have completely ruined us. We can't go anywhere else now. Seriously, this was the best trip ever. Thanks, Myrtle Beach.
Knocked Trinidad down, appeared to have turned the fight around. When that happened, Trinidad threw a punch exactly like that, the punch that Jobal just threw.
Well, that was, I think, definitely not on purpose. That was where he was going underneath a punch, and his head was just pushed down. But I think Trinidad was a little bit maybe more on the purpose.
Oh, no, that was a calculation.
It was calculated.
That was a calculation that night. This one may have been an accident, but it hit Vargas in the same place.
And then, like, when you hit underneath the cup, that's when it really hurts. It lifts the cup up.
Pop that jab, stay low, and get going. Get going, right? 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
I get hit with too much of shit. Keep your hands up. Boxing, turning. You take advantage of this. Hook right hand lead.
CompuBox numbers through the ninth round showed Fernando Vargas selective, landing more than half his punches. 224 out of 426. Raymond Jobal has thrown more than twice as many punches as Vargas. If there's a judge here who favors activity and activity alone, that person could have Jobal winning the fight. But if you're Harold Letterman, I'm sure you have Fernando Vargas in the lead. Don't you, Harold?
Absolutely, Jim. 87-84, 6 rounds to 3, ferocious Fernando Vargas. You know, Jim, in the final analysis, at the end of a round, you got to say to yourself, who hurt the other guy more than the other guy hurt him? Jobal is the busier guy. Fernando is the harder puncher. He's doing more damage. 6-3, Vargas.
If there's a judge that has Jobal ahead in this fight, he better get on his horse and get out of town fast.
I agree.
The fight is over.
I agree. Just don't think it's completely outside the realm of possibility, but in all likelihood, Vargas will get the benefit of the doubt for his more accurate punching.
Because Jobal is ineffective aggression when you look at actually the clean punches landed. And it's interesting, even when he throws his punches, like he's very comfortable punching at the upper part of the cup of Vargas, or either Vargas' left shoulder.
But he has no power at all.
No, he's no power at all. He doesn't even punch that much at the head. And even if he did, I don't think he would do as much damage because he doesn't punch that hard.
Vargas tried for that right-hand shot, but he was too far away.
Vargas he could sit down and get his feet planted properly and then turn a short powerful right hand, not try to do it while he's moving.
After this is over, Vargas' trainer, Danny Smith, is going to say, I'm glad he got 10 rounds of great work. He needed that. Whether it's true or not.
You know, the trick for the future for Vargas is to blend this kind of boxing with the sure instinct and intuition to go for it when it's there. To let loose.
The fire that defined him at his peak.
Well, it's been a much more competitive and exciting fight than I expected. I thought it would have been a knockout within 3 or 4 rounds.
Instead, it's going to go the distance, and we'll find out what the 3 judges from here in Texas have thought of the efforts of both Vargas and Raymond Jobal. Crowd rises to applaud Fernando Vargas for coming back to boxing and for coming to Corpus Christi and for giving the audience what it wanted.
Fernando Vargas told us yesterday that after performing in that movie with Bruce Willis and Sharon Stone, called Alpha Dog,
yep.
He has had several more offers to do movies. I think Hollywood will have to wait a while.
So he's getting more offers to be a movie star than Oscar De La Hoya. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I thought it was a solid performance. Showed that he could make some modifications in how he fights, and surprisingly showed real good stamina. Although I thought in the last couple of rounds he played it very cautiously.
Emmanuel, your thoughts? Well, before we go to that, let's take a look at who are the three judges who are going to be scoring the fight. We mentioned that Jesse Benavidez, himself a former featherweight title holder, was managed by Emmanuel Stewart. It's his first notable fight as a judge. Go get him, Jesse. We're sure you're going to be really good. Ray Hawkins, 59 years old, from Texas, had Julio Diaz, Juan Diaz, the winner over Lak Basim, when we covered that fight in Houston last year. Juan Diaz, perpetual motion, whirling dervish of a lightweight fighting machine. Jesse Reyes, 43, from here in Texas, had Kermit Cintron leading against Teddy Reed in Houston on that same card last year, and Cintron ultimately won a nervous knockout there. And as the judges compile their scores and we get ready to hear the final decision, you heard Larry's capsule comment on what he thought of Vargas. Give us yours.
Well, I thought it was a good fight for him coming back. It's someone that pushed him, but it also showed the things that he has to work on also. I think he's going to have to use his left jab more if he's going to be a boxer and not just try to just block punches and back away. But it was a good fight for him coming back. You know, he's a guy, a young kid, and been in with all those guys so powerful, Ike Quartey, Trinidad, De La Hoya, a lot of hard fights for a young kid. And I mean, and he took a lot of physical punishment in those fights too.
Do you think that he was being rushed because his management and his promoter feared that his outside the life ring might swallow up his inside the life ring before he reached his ultimate destiny as a fighter?
I think it could have been a combination of that, plus the fact that he himself was such an aggressive type guy and his demand to fight the best. He's not an easy guy to control.
Michael Buffer has the decision. Let's hear it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Jesse Benavidez scores at 98-92. Ray Hawkins, 96-94. And Jesse Reyes scores it 97-93. All to the winner by unanimous decision, the Aztec Warrior, El Feroz Ferocious, Fernando
So Vargas gets the decision, as was expected, raises the record to 25-2, comes back victorious from a 15-month layoff with a bad back, fights through 10 full rounds, shows no physical ill effects, demonstrates that he can adapt some new intelligence and new elusiveness into his previous all-out blood and guts fighting style, and fights so precisely that Final CompuBox numbers find him landing both half of his total punches. Look at that. Joval threw 990 punches in 10 rounds. That's an average. You can do it 99 per round. And if you look at jabs, you'll see Vargas double Joval landing jabs while throwing fewer. Again, landing at a 48% clip and basically blunting Joval's jab, even though Joval was throwing it over and over and over. So numerically, it was a very good, precise, largely defensive performance by Fernando Vargas. Go figure. Here's Larry Merchant with the winner.
Thank you very much, Jim. Congratulations, Fernando. Give us your thoughts on how it felt being back in the ring and trying to implement some changes in how you fight.
Primeramente, quiero darle gracias a Diosito por esta victoria. Y también mañana viene siendo el aniversario de su resurrección. Gracias, Diosito, por todo lo que has hecho por mí y mi familia. Te agradezco todos los que has bendecido. Amén. I felt like I've been away for a while, but I wanted to come back and try new things. And as you can see, I was doing them. You know, they might not have been as sharp as I wanted them to be, but I'm my own worst critic. And, you know, this is my first time with Danny Smith. Eduardo Garcia will always be with me. So, you know, I'm just glad that I was able to go 10 rounds. and box and do some of the things that he's been teaching me.
Can you learn to blend your old fire with your new ice?
Well, I think